All right, today we're going to crack open a playbook that you're not really supposed to see. And the point isn't so you can use these plays, but so you can spot them immediately when they're being used on you. This is all about getting your clarity back. So let's dive in. You know that feeling, right? It's like this weird mental fog rolls in right after you talk to someone. You just feel drained, you start second-guessing yourself, and you've got this nagging sense that you've just been spun around in circles, but you don't know how. And then this voice kicks in, that little voice of self-doubt. It's so disorienting. And look, if that sounds familiar to you, you are absolutely in the right place. That feeling is the first red flag. So yeah, that emotional fog, it is not just some random feeling. It's a symptom. It's really like the smoke that tells you there's a fire burning somewhere close by. And our whole goal today is to find the source of that fire. So let's just give it a name. Manipulation. That's what we're talking about. At its absolute core, it is about control. It's a game where one person wins, but they win by making the other person lose their balance, or their confidence, or sometimes even their own sense of what's real. Now that we've actually named it, we can start to unmask it. So let's get into the nitty-gritty and look at the actual tools, the specific tactics a manipulator uses to create that fog. And that is exactly what we're going to do. We are opening up the playbook. But listen, this is the most crucial part. A single incident, that can just be a mistake, right? But a repeated behavior, that's not a mistake anymore. That's a pattern. And the pattern is what we're looking for.
Okay, first up is one of the most famous, and honestly, one of the most damaging tactics out there, gaslighting. This is a direct attack on your reality.
Yeah. If you've ever heard this or something like it, you have been on the receiving end of gaslighting. The entire goal is to make you question your own memory, your feelings, even your sanity, until their version of what happened feels more real than your own. Let's just translate this stuff, okay? When they say you're being too sensitive, what they're really saying is your feelings don't matter. And when they hit you with, "I never said that," they are trying to convince you that your own brain is faulty. It's a powerful way to make you feel unstable.
So what do? The key is to stay totally grounded. You do not have to argue. A simple, calm, "I know what I experienced," or "well, that's not how I remember it," is incredibly powerful. Trust yourself. And if they keep pushing, it is 100% okay to say, "I'm done talking about this," and just walk away.
All right, next up, let's look at a tactic that messes with your emotions in a totally different way. We're talking about guilt tripping. This one turns your own sense of kindness and obligation into a weapon against you. Oh, this phrase right here is a masterclass. It's not a real request, is it? It's a test. It's a trap designed to make you feel like if you say no, you're a bad person, a bad friend, a bad partner, whatever it is. Let's look at the subtext here. After all I've done for you, that's not a friendly reminder. That's someone calling in a debt you never even knew you had. And that heavy sigh before they say, "Fine, I guess I'll just do it myself." That's just a passive-aggressive way to paint you as the villain. So your defense here is a really firm boundary. You can just say, "I understand that you're disappointed, but my answer is no." And notice there's no "I'm sorry" in there. You don't need to justify your decision. Giving a ton of reasons just gives them more ammo to argue with you. A clear no is all you need. Now, for a tactic that is so tricky, because at first it feels amazing, and that's what makes it so deceptive. It's called love bombing.
This almost always happens really fast, like super early in a relationship. It's this overwhelming tidal wave of affection, compliments, and attention. It feels incredible, of course, but that intensity is the whole point. It's meant to sweep you off your feet so you don't see the other red flags.
So what's really going on here? The goal is to make you dependent on them. That initial high makes you feel like you owe them something, and it sets the stage for what comes next. Because once you're hooked, they can pull that affection away and replace it with criticism, leaving you scrambling to get back to that amazing feeling from the beginning.
The antidote to love bombing is one simple thing: pace. A real healthy connection can handle slowing down. You can say, "Hey, I'm really enjoying this, but I need to take things a little bit slower." And then you just watch. Do their actions actually match up with their huge promises over time? That's the real test.
Okay, so we've looked at a few specific plays from the book. But now, let's zoom out and build your universal toolkit, the strategies that can protect you from pretty much any kind of manipulation. These are the core moves for every response.
These are your go-to defenses. Using "I feel" statements, well, no one can argue with how you feel.
Setting boundaries protects your energy. Trusting your gut? That goes all the way back to that first something's wrong feeling we talked about. And never, ever forget that you always have the power to just walk away.
And that brings us to what is, without a doubt, the most important takeaway from this whole thing. If you only remember one thing, please make it this.
Look, anybody can have an off day. Anyone can say one clumsy or insensitive thing. A single action, that's just one piece of information. It's a data point.
But when you see that same behavior again and again and again, a pattern of gaslighting, a pattern of guilt trips, that is the truth. That's not just a data point anymore, that is the conclusion. Trust the pattern, not the promise or the apology that comes after it.
Because recognizing that pattern, that's how you get your clarity back. That's how you step out of the fog for good. It's the key to protecting your own peace. So think about it. Which pattern have you seen pop up in your life? Just seeing it for what it is, that's your first real step to freedom.